Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Simply Sketchy. And today I have brought with me a man who haven't been here for a little bit of a while. Everybody, say hello to Tommy.
Hey guys, so thanks for inviting me to come back. I hope at least the people who listened last time I was here was happy with the episode. I had a lot of fun making it,
Hey,
and I look forward to yet again have a great discussion with you and see your drawing skills just magically appear in front of my eyes here at the same time as talking about something extremely cool. So
so today's subject is gonna be something that we both are a big fan of. It's
yeah,
gonna be the Bat, also known as
yes,
Batman.
yeah. No, it's been quite simply, yeah, my whole childhood, I would say,
Yeah,
is built up around this,
I mean, I
this
remember that time.
character.
I remember that time we were on a vacation. We found a Batman doormat, and you were like, "Dude,
Correct.
dude, I need
Dude,
this."
I need this thing. And freaking bought it too, and brought it back home from
Yeah,
the vacation. Yeah.
but who who
And
who didn't have space in their suitcase? I wonder.
oh, that could have been me. I'm not too sure.
Yes. So I was the one who
Yeah.
brought. I
Uh,
was the one who brought it.
yes, absolutely. Well, your suitcase was bigger, so
Yes.
you actually had the space. So very grateful for that. I still have it actually. It's
Really?
yeah, still have it. I didn't bring it down here to Portugal with me, but it is still at my parents' place, so they have it actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
S-
and the cap as well that I bought there because I bought those two things at that
Nice.
place, and I still have it. So it's been worn quite extensively, I have to say. But yeah, it's still part of the attire
Yeah.
at times. Of course, don't
I
run
mean,
around with it a
going to
lot.
big
Yeah.
business meetings wearing Batman stuff. That would be a win in my book.
Uh,
But hey, that's just me.
yeah, yeah. Same here. I would appreciate them more if they actually had the courage to just do that and be themselves when they come to a business meeting. But
Mm.
it is what it is.
Well, I
Most
would most
people
likely.
usually, yeah.
Well, if
I'd
not
probably still do
Batman,
it.
Transformers, that'd be a definite win for me.
Yeah, I fully agree. But
Yes.
then again, some people just don't appreciate fine art.
No, uncultured
No.
swine. All of them. How
Yes.
dare they?
Absolutely.
Yep.
No,
Here on Simply Sketchy on Trim's Art Jack, we will judge you.
yes, harshly.
If you don't embrace true culture, that is nerd culture, you will be judged accordingly.
Yes, no doubts whatsoever. From listening to most of the pods running, I have to say that if you come to one of these and you're not prepared to be judged, then, well, I mean, that's on your own accord and your own risk, I would say.
Yep. You should know
Yeah,
better.
you should simply know better. Don't say
Yep.
yes if you can't hack it. That's as simple as it gets.
Pretty much. Let's see. I'm mucking around a bit with the placement here. Kind of want to see how
Yeah,
far I can get. As we see here, I am currently essentially gonna take a simplistic but my own take on the best Batman, which is the TAS. While we talk, well,
yes.
kind of a you want to do sort of a general outliner while talking about TAS, right?
Kind of. I would like to just kind of delve into what made that particular series so popular, but also at the same time, just about the character itself, like what it's meant to symbolize, and also why we are so well infatuated with this character. Because you have a lot of other typical superheroes who are way more equipped and gifted, let's say, go through either getting bitten by certain creatures or some magical green space ring and lightning hitting you, so you get super fast, and some of them just crash land in a field somewhere, and they can all kind of both physically outmaneuver or overpower this individual, but still they all have immense respect and admiration for this particular character,
Well, that is
which
because,
always made it.
as far as I can tell, when it comes to that, it's because Batman has every hero has their own thing. They have the drive, their why they never
Yeah,
stop, why they keep fighting no matter what.
yeah,
It is that indomitable will and the desire to do good. However, Batman isn't without a superpower, and no, it is not being filthy rich. His
no, no,
superpower
no,
is his indomitable will. Because out of every single
yeah,
hero, he doesn't break. Batman
agreed.
doesn't break.
Yeah, I agree on this. He doesn't. His mental fortitude is basically his, well, greatest strength, but I would also say it's just his intellect.
Yes.
We have a person.
Everything that makes Batman Batman is his. It's just a perfect blend. He has
Yeah,
the will, the trauma from his past that defines him, gives him the that push to never really give up, no matter how tough it gets.
yeah, no, I agree. But also at the same time, it makes it, to me, it's just more of the fact that he has this great starting point to be whatever he wants to be, right?
Yes.
Until they are tragically uh, disposed of. Let's say I don't want to use the other words because of algorithm and such, but they are incapacitated by a person in need of cash, and therefore removes his possibility of having no happier childhood or a childhood at all.
Yep.
And he chooses, instead of using the inheritance that he has been given, he chooses to use it for the betterment of most things instead, and trying to, yeah, save the city at all times constantly.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I'm
The
that's what.
tragedy of little Bruce Wayne is basically
Mhm,
what defines Batman's character.
yeah,
Because we just have to be honest about something here. For Batman's goal of just being the fear of villains, right?
yeah,
The thing that the villains fear, the thing that criminals fear, so that they don't do any criminal acts or any bad things, it
yeah,
is basically very difficult to do due to his no kill code.
yes, for sure.
However, that one is not imposed by Batman himself. That is actually imposed by Bruce Wayne.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, because that's something I've noticed in in a lot of modern Batman stories is that they
Hmm.
keep removing Bruce Wayne from Batman.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
I fully agree. Most movies and such never really focus on the person behind. It's always about the character that's supposed to be fighting all of the crime and everything. We never get a real insight into who he actually is, which for me has always been intriguing, because why would they hide this point, if it
Right.
makes sense? Because that's why the character exists, is the actual trauma that the person goes through. And we never really focus on it, and it doesn't get focused on in the movies, and none of the series, like literally none of the times that we have the opportunity to actually view it, experience it, and get more in depth of this topic and this part of who he is. It just doesn't happen. And for me, that's quite strange. Why has the focus never been on this? Because it would, in my opinion, elevate the character immensely, especially in the movies, because they only have a certain amount of time. Then again, I guess you could argue that they tried to do that with the newest version, the Batman.
Yep.
But for me, it just didn't click. How to I don't really know how to explain it in any other way.
I think you got it. It doesn't quite click.
No,
Which one of the Batmans are you thinking of here?
um, with the oh, you mean in terms of which movie?
Yeah, are you talking about the one that became very famous due to how hoarse he made his voice?
No, no. That's the Dark Knight series, basically. So it's not Christian Bale.
No.
No, no. Because he's that's a great focus on Batman, though. I would say the actual being Batman part in those movies are excellent.
Mm.
It's without doubt the best movies about Batman that has currently been made, and many people argue that the two first ones with Michael Keaton are the best, but for me that just doesn't hold up at this point because, well, uh, Michael Keaton's version of Batman and like what gave us also the animated series and everything, the soundtrack is actually both of them is the same soundtrack. So you have the same song in the two first Batman movies as you do in the animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so well, I'm guessing most people who actually are in here with us on this topic already knew that. Um, but no, I'm talking more about the blend of Ben Affleck,
Hmm.
and you also have uh, what's his name? Why can't I remember his name? This is really frustrating at this point. Uh,
Which one are you thinking about?
the newest one. That's called The Batman.
Uh,
Uh, I only remember his first name, Robert.
Robert. Huh.
Uh, Pattinson. Pattinson. Robert Pattinson.
Hmm. I haven't
The
really seen any of
guy.
his.
No, trust me, you haven't. He's the guy who plays in Twilight.
But he's Batman?
Yes. Yes, sir. See?
Huh.
So that's in the movie that came out in 2022. It's already 3 years old. This movie.
Well,
Uh,
didn't do much to get my attention, that was certain.
no, but the movie is good.
Hmm.
The movie is actually good. It sets a very good tone. It shows Gotham the way it's supposed to be, at least in my opinion. And the movie is long, almost 3 hours,
Oh,
and you don't feel like it lasts that long. Actually, I'm quite
okay.
impressed with that part. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, you definitely should see it because it's very good,
I'll
in
give.
my opinion.
Oh,
But
that's fair.
that's the characterization and the overall view. You get a little bit more of a glimpse into who Bruce Wayne is in that movie, but you also have this um, how to say this politely. We aim on being polite here. Um, do you remember when the individual Catwoman movie came out with Halle Berry?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember how everyone was like, Catwoman doesn't look like that
Yeah.
kind of feedback?
Yeah.
Well, in this movie as well, Catwoman is of that particular
Hmm. I see.
build and look. Yeah. And there's nothing, and I mean this sincerely, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just they are moving away from what the character actually is. But I think they got away with it more because we have the other Catwoman movie. But
Yeah.
since we were blessed with Anne Hathaway being Catwoman in the Christian Bale trilogy, we were just expecting it, I guess, to be someone of that character and build. and it isn't. But it's the what's her name? But she's the daughter of Lenny Kravitz.
I don't quite know
Zoe.
things.
Zoe Kravitz is her name, and she's
Oh,
a phenomenal actress. She plays the role extremely well, so I believe her fully as the character. But people still were like, but this doesn't look like and that doesn't matter anymore in my opinion in terms of because the over focus on it is just ruining everything anyway.
yeah.
Just focus on the characters at this point, and if you look at it simply like that, then it's really entertaining and really well made. It's just that you don't expect everything that's happening to happen. But it's a very good insight and actual really good way to introduce the penguin, um, Mr. Cobblepot, and he's played by Colin Farrell.
Colin
And
Farrell,
you would
huh?
never believe, yeah, you would never believe it's him. I swear, you would never believe that's Colin Farrell under that setup. And he's gotten his own series as well now, called The Penguin.
Oh, wait, he is. That is. Oh,
That's Colin Farrell, sir. Yes, sir.
huh.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Penguin is always has always been one of those villains that
Yeah.
he's an in-betweener. You either love his character or you don't.
Yes, or you
And
don't.
yeah, but I've never seen a penguin that I don't like. Even you have that
Hmm.
you know the cartoon that became really popular after Justice League ended, the
Yes.
Batman.
Yes.
Yeah, where Joker and Penguin both were able to actually fight.
Yeah.
I really like that one though. Some people
Yeah.
didn't, but I freaking loved it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I have the same persuasion there because that particular you mean the animation series, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's absolutely awesome. It's the voice of Rino Romano, uh, where we look at Batman as a younger version of himself. Like the animated series with Kevin Conroy, we kind of jump into him being Batman more like immediately, and then we have a flashback of sorts in the
Yeah.
episodes where he chooses to become Batman and so on. But here in the Batman series from 2004 to 8, I
Yep.
know it's 4 seasons of it, and it's a really good one. Really good.
Yep.
Great voice acting, great plot, all of it. Really entertaining. My favorite is when he actually meets Dracula in that one. Kind of far fetched, but
I was just
yeah.
about to say it. He meets and he kicks Dracula's ass.
Yes. The ending of that one is really good.
I know, right? He just fucking
Yeah.
styles on Dracula. It's like, nah, screw you.
Yeah.
Lord of
Yeah.
Darkness, my
I-
ass. I'm the Batman.
Yeah. Exactly. No, it's really good. I
Uh,
thoroughly enjoy that series, and it's really underrated in terms of everything because when they tried to make Batman more approachable, they made this where he's in like that very square chin look, light blue uh, setup. What's the the brave and the bold?
yeah.
Yeah, and for me that was such a huge difference that I never gave it a good look. Never viewed it
Oh,
as I should have
I
because
do
it looks like
recommend The
it's a
Brave.
children's show. Yeah, you
That
do.
here's the thing though. I do recommend it because The
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold, it goes the other direction. How the
Hmm.
more modern Batmans go for the more hard line, they make
Hmm.
Batman. It's a lot more centered on Batman than Bruce Wayne. This
Yeah.
one, it's campy, it's corny,
Hmm.
but it works because they do it with such passion. In one moment, you have Batman and many other DC characters get transported by Mogo, right? You know, the yellow conqueror dude,
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
or as I like to call him, Diet Darkseid.
Yeah, sure.
You know he wants to emulate
I,
Darkseid, but he
yeah,
just
yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah.
He's a
Easily.
wannabe. But the funny thing about him though is that he challenges them all to a race, a
Yeah.
a Mario Kart style race,
Yeah.
and and that's one episode where they fight each other racing the
Hmm.
Joker. I think Penguin is there too. And a
Really?
bunch of the Batman and Superman villains join.
Hmm.
And then you have another episode where Batman gets to confront his parents' killer.
Yes, I've seen clips of that. I've seen clips of that part.
Yes.
That's what made me kind of regret not getting into it because I was like, "Oh, this is actually good writing, and it's making me believe what he's saying," which I doubted that he would be able to do because I looked at the art style and kind of
Oh,
judged it wrongly based on that, which is of course fully and wholly my fault. But for me, that was
I
just
made the same mistake, buddy. I made the same mistake.
all right. And I get it.
But
I'll give it a shot then.
definitely it is the campy episodes are there to
Lighten the
relieve the
mood, right?
tension from the more serious ones.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Uh, the adult me was afraid of that, because I wanted to be more interesting, like the animated series was. Because now that I rewatch the old animated series with all of the build up and all of the great sound tracks and everything, like every part of that series with the voice of Kevin Conroy in it is so well made that movies that are made in modern times cannot compete. It
Nope.
is mind blowing to me how well they made it and how they make you just fully involved in every episode.
Yep.
You pay attention when you watch the animated series. And the same with the transfer over to the Justice League times of this as well. All of these things, and it just boggles the mind how they were able to create that back in those times, and today they don't seem to be able to make a cartoon to save their lives. Most of these animation studios for series, right?
Oh, the
I'm not
and the reason
saying
for that is okay. How to say this without? Give me a second. I need some time. Let's see. They've decided that competence and
yeah,
creativity are secondary to other
quantity. Yeah,
priorities. Let's put it like that.
yes, that's a good one actually.
Yeah.
In opposition of other priority is a
Yeah.
very good one. Yeah, it's a
It
good
is.
way to say it actually. So you asked me a couple of times now what movies I preferred and such, but which movie got you into it? If we are talking about the actual movies, which one? And I'm talking like the non-animated one. I'm talking
Well, that is
real stuff.
the guy. Shoot. He was pretty big in Disney.
Hmm.
Um, the guy who made Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Michael Keaton, what? The
Yeah.
two first is made by Tim Burton.
Yes, the two first are made by Tim Burton, and his
Mhm.
style, it was sort of a big deal because he was the only one who went that route with this.
Yes.
He kept a cartoony, pulp, pulpy
Yes.
style to it. That's the best way I can describe it. And he
No, but I
kept it
agree.
in, yeah. And even if it was live action, he kept that mood, that energy in his series, and
Yes.
it just carries so much atmosphere.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's why many people say that the Michael Keaton Batman is the best one because it's most true to the uh, comic version of Batman as well. And for me, at times, I would say that I beg to differ because it really doesn't at some points. But then again, there's also a lot of truth into what they made Batman be at that time. So the correlation is good, but it's also parts of me that says, well, it's not truly true to the uh, proper comic book version of Batman. The only movies that have actually fully portrayed, not betrayed, but portrayed Batman that way is the Superman movies where you see Batman, Superman, uh, uh,
Man of
the one
Steel
after Man of.
and
Yeah, no, it's the one after Man of Steel because Man of Steel is when he fights Zod and stuff.
yeah, Superman
Uh,
versus Batman, right?
yes, that one and the Justice League version of it as well.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck plays such a true to form Batman that it is uncanny. It made me think, why on earth did they not cast him earlier? Because he's a brilliant, broody Batman. You see that he's on the latter side of his career as this superhero. He's tired, he's beaten up, he's angry, and he doesn't hold back, just like he does in or doesn't in the comic series. He will beat you up, but he won't end you. So
Doesn't go
I've
around with guns?
struggled. No, he doesn't. He doesn't use any at all. But what I've always looked for and waited for is for an adaptation that is actually true to form, where he actually hurts them the way that he does in the comics.
Yeah.
Because it never made any sense to me in any way, shape, or form how little he would actually brutalize these criminals. Because that was the point. He needed them to stop being criminals, so he wasn't being nice. And every comic version that we see, animated series, and all of this, right, is so gentle at all times, in my opinion. This is my opinion.
Yeah, I
Until,
know what you mean.
yeah,
He brutalizes actually the word for it because
hmm,
if you're gonna learn criminals tend to have this very simple worldview. It is
yeah,
might equals right, and when you're
yes,
gonna deal with creatures that have that mentality, you
yeah,
gotta break a few teeth and a few legs
yes,
and a few arms.
exactly. And you don't really see that happen until The Dark Knight Returns, the two movies there with the animated films with um, what's his name? Peter Weller is the voice of an older Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah,
They
the
made
one where he ends up fighting Superman for a bit, right?
yes,
And he
exactly
teams up
that
with
one.
Green Arrow.
Yes, that one, exactly that one. So,
Yes.
and that's the animated or the book from Frank Miller
Yep.
that the Batman vs Superman movie is inspired by.
Yeah.
Because they had to be very careful with saying it was inspired by because it doesn't follow the book at all, almost, in my opinion.
No, because there are no sharp-nippled mutant men that
Hmm.
Batman has a full-on mud fight with.
Yes, exactly. And that really would have been cool to see if it was an actual Batman movie.
I'll
But
say
they
it.
focused on Superman's perspective of the conflict instead for some reason.
Yeah.
It didn't really make any sense because that movie is supposed to create the aftermath of Batman. What happens after? How he creates the Sons of Batman. Now, this is spoilers for whoever is here and fans of Batman haven't seen this yet. So you're on your own risk here listening to this, but
Spoiler
the
warning.
creation,
Be aware.
yes, yes. So if you don't want to listen to me ramble on about that, you should probably skip the next minute or two, because these two movies were so good that I really really got a whole new view of Batman based on it
Yeah.
because this is a Batman who has retired and then figures out, no, I have to return to save the city because the state it's in right now, nobody's cleaning up and people aren't afraid anymore, so that has to be fixed.
And
And
Superman
this
is
is
busy working for the
being
government.
yes, just being a governmental puppet instead and focusing on good PR instead of actually saving people's lives and restoring order wherever he
That's kind of
is.
one of the worst things about that movie. It's not in a bad, oh, it's the worst in the bad. It is how it really treats Superman as a fallen character. He still holds
Yes.
his values, right? He still lives by them,
Yeah.
but he has become the stooge of the government, something he really
Yes.
didn't care about for before.
Yeah. No, I agree. And having read the book as well, it's uncanny how plainly Frank Miller just puts Superman's image and who he used to be up against the fact that he's just become a governmental puppet in all respect of that word, because well, you serve your government, you keep people safe and stuff, but you don't break any rules anymore to be able to save someone. So,
You
and it's
become a
like he
dog on
says,
a leash.
yes, it's like he says that he can actually see Bruce overstrain himself in the fight, and uh, I just love the fact that Batman just says, "Yeah, I'm aware of this, but I'm still gonna stop you because that's what the value of actually saving the city and the situation is. So I'm aware of this risk, and you seem to have forgotten how to put yourself at risk. You're just very, very comfortable where you are, and it's not
Yeah.
right." So it took uh, him coming back in his, I think, mid 60s. He returns or something like this. I think he's that
Yep.
old actually, which is quite insane. But I love the fact that that version of old Bruce, an old Batman, is so sturdy on it. But I also think it kind of goes too much against um, Batman Beyond's Batman,
Oh, that
if you
is.
get what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be honest.
Because,
Batman Beyond is my favorite successor story to Batman.
yes, I agree. Mine as well.
Yeah.
It is without a shadow of a doubt the proper way to to make sure that Batman lives on while staying true to what Batman has always been,
Yeah.
because Bruce Wayne is still alive and actually teaching Terry McGinnis the way we would expect someone to do. And it
Yeah.
also gives such a big insight in how he would have trained all of the Robins during the time that he does that, because we only see in the animated series, we only see him do this to what eventually becomes Nightwing. More spoilers for the people who haven't paid attention. Dick Grayson, right?
Yep.
Richard Grayson.
The first Robin, basically.
The first Robin, basically. Yes, correct. And also how he would try with Jason Todd that becomes the Red Hood. Also, more spoilers, which is also a great animated movie, by the way. Under the Red Hood
Yeah.
is
Honestly,
insanely good.
that movie also holds my second favorite Joker because
Yes, I
it.
agree.
Yes,
He's
because that
excellent.
Joker it really knows how to. He can be that
Mm,
cheery ha ha guy, but he's really a Joker you can be afraid of
yes,
because you
I agree.
believe that he can actually put up a fight.
Yes, no, I agree with you. When I saw that version of the Joker and realizing, oh my God, this isn't played by Mark Hamill, and it's still such an incredibly believable and amazing version of him,
Mm.
because you are 100% sure that this Joker will end you the second he has the chance, especially in the scene where he's
Yeah, that's
in
because
the
he
jail.
literally does though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly.
every
They
moment
don't.
he can kill
Yeah,
someone, he does it. He
yeah,
just
it does
what?
it.
He's like, "Can I have a glass of water?"
Yeah, exactly.
And then four
And
people
you're
are
dead.
dead.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. It's really good. It's one of the few times you can actually get a fully believable feeling of, yeah, this Joker is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because in the animated series, Taz, you had that feeling in the beginning. The
Yep.
two first seasons, I was literally sure, yeah, this guy is dangerous. In the last
Yeah,
two
that's
seasons,
because
where they
when
changed his eyes and everything,
yep.
remember they did that stuff?
Yep. When they took the
I
Joker's makeup, they took
yeah,
what made him
yeah,
scary because then
yes,
You got some good memes though. You got some good jokes, like how the Joker is
Sure.
crazy enough to go against Batman, but he knows not to mess with the IRS.
Yes.
That's
Things
a
like this.
funny one, but that's not Joker.
Nope. He doesn't scare me, and it doesn't strike me as like, okay, misstep here and you're done for. But in the two first, I love his original look, the
Yeah.
yellow eyes, the yellow teeth, in the purple suit, and when they made him wear the hat, that every
Yes.
episode he wears the hat, he's particularly not scary but menacing.
He's
He
also
deals with
very
many things.
cruel there because a lot of the ways he does things, because the Joker gas is basically their way of censoring whenever
Hmm.
Joker kills someone.
Yes.
And I like how they use the Joker gas. But
Hmm.
there's this one scene when he meets that politician who has been trying
Yes.
to outdo many things of what he does, and the
Yeah.
Joker takes that very personally.
Hmm.
So he just leans over he takes the guy, leans him over the table, he just laughs maniacally, and then he has the Joker gas grin afterwards, like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. No, that's actually. You know what? When you did this, when you blacked out the whole thing. Sorry for just totally off tracking us. This
No
looks
worries.
insanely badass.
Thank you.
So, so for the people who are viewing right now, just the fact that he did that, remove this layer, like give us the lighting layer first, where we see more of the details. See, like this is what amazes me with your artistry, because all of the details that we see here, right?
Mhm.
And then suddenly, like you just flip the switch to what is going to be more of the end product, and you
Mhm.
just black this out. This looks exactly like the for me at least. I can see a little bit difference in the head, but who gives a crap? But everything else here is exactly how it looks before the lightning strikes and lights him up.
I kind
So
of
for
was
me,
looking
this is
forward to this part. I was
yeah,
looking forward to it.
this is freaking awesome. This is so cool. This is why people should be viewing your stuff, because it's just uncanny. Like it went from this, and this is very very detailed in terms of this being a sketch, guys. I'm
Yep.
saying this is a sketch. It's not a fully commission based. He's making this drawing over several days or even a week. This is him sketching while we're talking,
Yeah.
which is insane to me.
Also, I realized I have to do a little bit of a change. I need to separate background Batman from
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
character, because that'll make things
mm,
easier for me later.
yeah. The
So,
way he was separated from his parents.
oh, that's sad.
Oh, just put a couple of roses on that one.
Oops.
Oof! Ah,
Pain.
struck a chord. Pain.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Sure, the
Oh,
Red Hood says, with bullets.
yeah.
That's that's in one of the comic books actually, which
Really?
I think is such a lost, brilliant retort to the Riddler,
Yeah.
where it's while he's still the Red Hood,
Yeah.
and he's cleaning up the city his way. Um, he comes across the Riddler, and the Riddler, of course, says his iconic "Riddle me this," and he answers, "No, no, no, you're not talking. You're not talking to the old man. You're talking to me, and the only riddling that's going to be happening here is you with bullets." And it's really, really, really cool in that sequence, how
Yeah,
they
and
meet each
it's
other, how
also
they
kind of scary when you think about it, because
yeah, of course.
here's the thing about what was the name again? Dick Grayson or
Oh, this is Jason Todd.
yeah, the scary
Yeah,
thing about Jason Todd is just how different he is
the
from
rest.
Bruce. Yep.
Mm, yeah.
because
I actually
he,
love it because he
oh yeah,
represents, for me at least, he represents who Batman would have been.
yes,
Does it
that is
make sense?
exactly it. It
Mm,
represents who Batman would have been had it
yes.
not been for the loss of his parents.
Yes, I think so. Or in that form as well. Uh,
There we go.
uh, it to me it's more the it's hard to actually like describe this the proper way. I think Jason Todd came into existence because people were claiming or craving more violence from Batman.
Yeah.
Because the animated series Batman isn't true to the comic book Batman. Like I said earlier, he doesn't violently beat people up. You see him beat people up for sure. You see him smash them through tables and stuff like this, but you never see him break a bone. You never see him literally like, you are now unable to utilize a body part for a certain amount of months. You know, that never happens. And of course, it couldn't happen back then. Even though it was more open for them to do those type of things back in 1992 to like 98, where the series ran, it's such a huge difference. Like it would never make air today, never at all. um but it's still like, for me it always baffled me that he never did those type of things. And even in the game, to move ourselves into the Arkham series as well, even there you don't see him break any bones, but you know he does. So
I
it's
mean,
it's
you kind of feel it. You
yes,
kind of
for sure,
you
playing the
kind of
game you
feel it.
feel it.
It's like,
No doubts at all.
I don't think this dude is gonna be able to walk again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the thing, isn't it? That's
Yes.
what it is for me. I wanted more of that to be the case, but it's also probably not as easy to get those things through censorship, and like, it's supposed to be safe for kids. Like, kids are overprotected today, yet they are the most violent and most
Yeah, it's
outwards
BS.
acting. Yes.
It's
So
absolute BS because kids will always have a violent streak, but seeing
yeah,
something like Batman, it's for some,
yeah.
it's gonna give them that. It is Batman isn't uncontrolled violence; it is directed
No,
violence, controlled
I agree.
violence.
Yes. No, I fully agree with you. It's more uh how to say this more correctly. Like, it's um preventive violence, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
you could look at it two ways. You could look at it as, I'm going to be him and I'm going to exact vengeance slash I'm going to punish people by kicking their ass.
Yep.
Or it's more like, huh, it seems like the world has people or characters resembling Batman in the world. Better not do anything stupid and get my butt kicked, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so
It
that's
is
that.
vigilantism, but it is a
Hmm.
the difference between vigilantism that is of the bad kind and of
Yeah,
Batman's kind. It is, as you said, preventative. It is to keep
yeah,
Gotham safe. It is to make sure it's
yes,
stable, so no
yeah,
child will have to experience what he experienced,
exactly.
because it is Bruce Wayne's trauma that defines him, which is
Hmm.
also why
Yeah,
he doesn't want to kill. He sees that as a
yes.
moral wrong.
Hmm.
I this is something I actually like to point out. I've heard it somewhere else in other people's in other
Hmm.
podcasts and other videos. For example, you have
Yeah.
this dude called Arch, a guy I like to view. He started off doing Warhammer lore, but he also is pretty a big Batman fan as well.
Hmm.
And he has an issue with how Batman is portrayed in modern times, and I resonate with that because I
Yeah,
totally agree. They
yeah,
focus too much on Batman being the character, not Bruce Wayne. Because
yes, exactly.
if we're gonna be honest, if Batman only cared, if Bruce Wayne didn't exist, if it was only Batman,
Yep.
then he wouldn't really do the no kill rule.
No,
That
exactly.
is,
That's what I'm saying too.
yeah, that is purely Bruce Wayne. And
Yes, I agree.
I wonder,
It's the
have you heard
humanity of him.
exactly? But I wonder, have you ever heard of Warhammer 40K? Because
Yeah.
there is a character there that is Batman without the moral compass of Bruce Wayne.
Oh, really?
Yes, his name is Conrad Curse, and he is
Mm-hmm.
notorious for being the most violent, cruel, and malicious human being
Mm.
in 40K, aside from those literally corrupted by
Oh, of
the
course.
forces of
Yep.
chaos itself.
Yep.
Because this dude landed on a planet, he had this genetic directive. Now, I'm gonna paraphrase here, so I'm not,
Yeah,
again,
of
no
course.
40K lore expert.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this biological directive
Mm-hmm.
of making peace, keeping the peace, and making sure that
Mm-hmm.
justice is done. Of course, he has no moral compass, and he landed on a planet where every single one is a notorious criminal in order to just
Oh,
survive.
yeah. Okay.
So, what happens if you have a Batman character who is, what, 9 to 10 feet tall, able to tank a
Mhm.
shotgun to the chest without problem,
Oh.
and the first time he interacted with a human, he ate them? He found out that, torture is an
Well,
incredibly effective way to make sure people don't break the law.
yes.
So
Makes sense.
he would, and of course, he brought it to the ridiculous extreme. Every single criminal, and I'm talking everything from jaywalking to mass murder, he
Mm.
would pick that person up, then live stream it to everyone's television
Oh.
and he would make that a law as well, so people couldn't look away from it. They had to see,
Oh, yeah.
where he would then, let's say,
Just dismantle this
yeah,
being,
first he
basically.
would take off their coats, skin,
Oh.
then he would take off their each and every single muscle and sinew
Yeah.
until only
Oh,
bones were
wow.
left, and still somehow they were alive and screaming.
Yeah.
And that is kind of
Yeah.
what
No, that's
yeah, but that's what Batman would have done if he didn't have a moral compass. If he truly wanted to do what he set off to do at by any means necessary, Batman would have been a monster.
yeah. No, I agree with that. Uh, and many would probably disagree with it, saying, "No, there's no way he would." So, yeah, it is
Uh,
because we seem to forget often the pent up anger as well.
but
It's just his intellect that makes sure that he behaves. Is that a good phrasing of it? That makes
I would
sure that he doesn't
say
do anything extreme to that extent
I wouldn't
because
say
he
it was his
knows.
intellect. I wouldn't say it's not the intellect that his intellect is just another weapon he has. What keeps it holds him back is his moral compass. Again, morality. That is the
Yeah.
one sole thing that keeps makes Batman a hero instead of a villain.
Yes.
Why he wants to stand up to fucking Darkseid alone
Yeah.
and still manage to win because he never, unlike everything else, they will
Hmm.
blink. Batman
Yeah.
doesn't because he has a really great purpose.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that point, and it's also what makes him so popular, I think, because he is still just like us,
Yep.
yet he is the one who they look to stand up against probably most of the things that are uh, the issue,
Yep.
so to speak. And it makes it believable at the same time, even if it is a delusion for us as normal human beings, like there's no way alien creature that can shoot omega beams out of their eyes is something we could stand up to no matter how much we train. You
Yep.
can't just backflip yourself a couple of times and then you've avoided ray beams that you didn't see while backflipping. So you have no idea where they actually are. Yet somehow magically he is the only one who's been able to dodge his omega beams,
Yep.
etc. This
You
is so
either you
uh,
either tank it or you die, basically.
exactly, and he is not equipped to tank it. Ergo, he should be dead. But by his prowess as a martial artist and his athleticism, he dodges the deadliest and most dangerous rays in the world.
Yep.
Well, basically in the known universe, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And like
Dark
this is
side
the
is
one,
just there to make sure that everyone
yeah,
suffers.
yes, basically. So no, for me, it's more what he represents than anything else.
Yeah.
It gives us permission to have the belief that it doesn't matter what gets thrown at us, we are perfectly equipped
Yeah.
with the mind and the potential to build our body as well to be just like it. Everything he has in the modern day, we are able to achieve. You know, the money,
Hmm.
the status, and the mental fortitude, and everything else we can. The only difference is we don't put on a costume and go beat up people in the meantime. You know,
Hmm.
that's what's the main difference for me visually in terms of what could I do and how close can I get to it,
Yeah.
because I think that is something many people just don't remember that they can do, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
It's just like, remember, you can be someone of that importance. You just can't be it in a literal sense. You have to start letting go of the fact that you're not going to be throwing batarangs around and punishing people in the way that you think you would be doing, because it's not possible, you know? But you can do things, amassing the wealth, the cars, and all of these things, and you can use whatever fortitude you have and skill set to be helpful to the city and the community that you're part of and stand up for what's right still.
Yep.
You just don't go around with a mask on beating the shit out of people.
Well, I mean, you can if you're rich enough, but you
I
won't
mean, you
be.
probably could, but they would be able to figure it out.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah,
thing is
like you
that
can't make me believe that nobody knows Bruce Wayne is Batman. That's the
no,
only unbelievable part for me.
I'm pretty sure Amanda Waller knows. She just doesn't.
Oh yeah, she always
She
knew.
she doesn't. She doesn't did. She doesn't dox Batman because she knows
Yeah.
there's some professional courtesy there.
Hmm.
God, Amanda Waller, she is cool too. We need to do one on her as well.
Yeah, I agree. Amanda Waller is very underrated as a character.
Yeah, she is. Again, she is the only and not just intellectual, but I want to say more like the will, the driven
Yes,
sort of rival
yes.
to Batman, because she has the drive. And
Yeah,
yeah, because the Batman has many abilities, many skills, but again, what really stands him apart from everyone is his will and his drive, right? That is almost
yeah,
it is almost a superpower onto itself. How
yes.
yeah, he just never gives up. And
No,
Amanda Waller is the only one who's able to match that.
yeah, you
It's
think
kind of
so? Because I would throw Lex Luthor in there.
oh yeah, yeah, but that is for
Yeah.
selfish reasons. I'm talking about the drive for a higher cause. Lex
Oh,
Luthor's
okay.
higher
Yeah,
cause is himself.
yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, based on that, then yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, because
I
that
agree.
is also why what makes Amanda Waller so dangerous. Because
Yeah,
again, she has the same drive as Bruce, as Batman,
yeah,
but she is dedicated to her country. And
yeah,
God help anyone who stands between Amanda Waller and the U.S.
yeah. No,
And
I
she doesn't
agree.
want power. She doesn't want anything. She just wants the security of her nation. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I'll give you that one
Yep.
for sure.
Of course, I've had a few discussions with some people who disagree that having a strong will and a determination is a superpower, but them about that.
Yeah. No, I understand it, but it's for me. It's just uh let's say the core sense of the character is what appeals to me. Everything else is just bonus, but it's very clear in the end of, I think it's just League Unlimited. I think
Yep.
where we see Terry McGinnis actually as a proper adult with super old Bruce, where he finds out where he's from and why he has become Batman. That
Yep.
discussion with Amanda Waller is very enlightening, and it explains that she always knew because she was the only person with the balls to actually pick up some of the DNA that he left around everywhere. Because that's always baffled me. When I first saw that episode, I was like, finally someone addresses this.
Yep.
Because you cannot have all of the episodes where we see he gets a cut, we see he gets hurt, we see a fight ensues, and you know that there must be some DNA somewhere,
Yep.
and that no one in law enforcement or
Any of the
uh,
many clone supervillains who is very fond of
yes,
cloning.
exactly, or for example, at the same time, people he beat up or fought that were of the supervillain kind, and you know that they traded blows. You will know that the uh, site of the fight will have DNA from these people, and it's very clear that if you check all the DNA at these places, you will find certain rich individuals' DNA
Yes.
there, and start to wonder why is he out of all these people just
Why is he always
occasionally here?
here?
Yes, why is he here? Well, doesn't make any sense for this millionaire playboy to be walking around here because he has no reason to, unless exactly. And for my brain, that was always like, how do you not see this and address it? And then finally in that episode, that was addressed, and I was like,
uh,
oh, now
about
I
damn
get it.
time.
Yeah, yeah, that's my reaction as well. Like, okay, finally someone who understands and sees it and actually got it. It
Yep.
makes any sense to you. So,
It does.
but
I liked it too, but the best part is just that they had to make a adult joke out of it too. They
mm,
sneaked in a little cheeky joke because
mm-hmm,
finding DNA of him it was easy enough. He left it around
mm,
everywhere, and then you have
yeah,
this small pause, like not even remotely what I meant.
yes, exactly. No, but that was supposed to play off the fact that he's a billionaire playboy at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah, but I love the way they that she chose to make Terry McGinnis in
Yes.
that regard. But I always wondered, why did you choose a different family? But it made sense over time.
Yep.
So no,
Terry
it's
was a designed kid, but in the
mm,
end, the best part is you know that little cameo. I don't remember her name, but I remember the name of the alter ego, Phantasm, right?
yes,
From
yes.
that first Batman the
And the
animated
mask of
movie.
the yeah, yeah,
Yep.
mask of the phantasm. Yeah,
She was supposed to be the killer, but she
hmm,
herself, she just nope.
yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Love how
Yeah.
they suddenly also made that be three different individuals in another part. Not in the movie itself, but she comes back. Don't know if you know, but she comes back in some way, shape, or form. I don't remember if it's in a movie or if it's in any other way. I think maybe even in Batman Beyond it might be. I don't remember, but she comes
I
back,
she
or at least the
does.
phantasm. The phantasm comes
Oh,
back.
I think I know who it is. I think I know where.
Hmm.
She is. You know that episode with the lizard people?
Yeah.
They had this cobra, basically this lizard cult, and
Hmm.
there was this one. I think it was a 2 or 3 parter where they had genetically created someone who would be the king of their world order.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He would. I think the chick there was supposed to be Phantasm.
Hmm. I actually don't remember.
It is so
People
long ago,
listening to
but
this, yeah,
yeah.
people who's listening to this, just help us out. Tell us what episode and season and which show it was, because I know it exists. I know
Yep.
it's three different women ending up using the costume,
Yep.
because I remember. No, it's Batman Beyond, because I remember how Bruce reacts to it,
Yep. Though I also
and
want to say this
he
though,
sees it
guys,
through his mask.
to everyone listening here who hasn't seen Batman the animated series, who hasn't seen Justice League, do yourself
Yeah,
a favor and watch it. Because
yeah,
what start with the Batman the animated series. You can
yeah,
also dip into Superman the animated
yes,
series,
absolutely,
and then you watch all of the two Justice League series, the first one and
yes,
Unlimited, and
yes.
you will not find a animated series with such quality ever again.
No, 100%.
Yep.
It's so far beyond the quality of anything any other studio has ever made in total. That
Yep.
they can't hold a candle to it. You
Not
can
even Warner Bros. Can
no,
do that
no,
again. That was a one thing. And
yeah,
then you of course have Batman Beyond, which is honestly the
hmm,
best legacy series I have seen.
yeah, I agree.
It yeah, it is what it is Batman after Batman, and it does
Hmm,
such a good job. You know, it
I
starts with
agree.
Batman's last job before he
Yeah,
realizes that he can't do this anymore. Yeah, and
yeah,
then you have essentially the mirroring of Terry's rise as Batman, but also his
yes,
nemesis Blight. Now, I like
yes,
that one.
yeah. No, I agree. I'm glad they didn't like make a character that resembled Joker in any way, shape, or form.
No,
And I
they did it
also
better because
yes,
they made Joker instead of being. It's kind of like how the Joker's danger wasn't just him; it was his idea,
hmm,
what he represented in the end.
yes,
And then you have a bunch of street thugs who thought they
who
got the
just
message and just
yes,
became parodies of him.
yes, and I love it because it dilutes how dangerous he used to be, yet the actual way that they see him is what is the dangerous part. So it makes you think how you view leadership, you
Yep.
know, and which ideas to blindly follow. And it's just a masterpiece to me. The fact that they did that, and still were able to give proper good. Uh, well, I wouldn't say they were excellent enemies, but Blight is one.
Yep.
But you also had Ink. I
Oh
like
yeah,
Ink a lot. Yeah,
Ink. Oh, and also this is what also one of my favorite villains of all time is Mr. Freeze.
yeah, agreed.
He is a poetic villain. He is evil, but his fall is a tragedy. And he's not that tragic villain who goes through a soppy redemption arc. No, he is just cruel because he cannot
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
But at the end, he has this new chance where he feels genuine sorrow. And
yeah,
I, Mr. Freeze, the episode in Batman Beyond, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but
yeah.
it is such a
It's brilliant.
yeah, it is such a
Yeah,
worthy episode of
it
Mr.
is
Freeze. And we're talking about
truly.
yeah, and Mr. Freeze's episode, I think that one got some kind of it got an award. It was the first animated
Yeah,
series animated anything that got an award. I don't
yeah.
know if it was an
I
Oscar or an
think
Emmy.
so. I think it's an Emmy because that has to do with series, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Emmys are for series, and the Oscars for the movies.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it got it got an Emmy,
yeah.
which back in the day was unheard of. Like a
Oh,
cartoon
for
getting an
sure.
Emmy.
Yeah,
What is this? And so many people who watched it, it's just tragic.
yeah,
It's hard to say, and it is just one of the reasons why Mr. Freeze is such a glorious fucking character. I
yeah,
love Mr. Freeze.
yeah. No, I agree. It's brilliant. Like
Yep.
truly spectacular.
Yeah, and that is
Yeah,
also a cornerstone because Batman's Rogue Gallery is the best that DC has. It is it's sort of like how Spider-Man is the most is iconic to Marvel, and how his villains are more
Mm,
iconic than any of the
hmm.
others.
Yes, agreed.
Because I anyone can list off at least five Spider-Man and Batman villains,
Yeah,
but if you ask them to list off five villains in fucking The Flash,
Thor.
Superman,
Yeah.
Thor. Oh, gee, yeah, nobody
Hmm.
knows that.
Nobody has any idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Iron Man as well.
yeah,
To enter into that domain, like Spider-Man
yeah,
is basically Marvel's Batman, and the
yeah.
other way around, which is crazy to me because, well,
Well, the
you'd
thing is that
expect the others to
they
have.
aren't overpowered.
Mhm.
Despite of course, Spider-Man is incredibly powerful and physically
Yeah.
more capable than Batman. But the thing is, what Batman's greatest weapon isn't his physical ability. It isn't his. It's his will, but his intelligence. The mind of the
Mhm.
Bat is what makes him who
Yeah,
he is.
I agree. It's mostly the same with uh, Spider-Man and Peter Parker as well.
Hmm.
It's because they're relatable. They start out as just regular people, you know, and then they
Yep.
experience something horrendous, and then they're suddenly protecting absolutely everyone. And I think that's what makes people more drawn towards them than anything else. Because, oh well, there's no way I could be any of the others because I would have to have something insane happen to me instead of something that's happened
Yeah.
to people in existence earlier. And I think that is the main reason so many find it relatable and easy to want to be this character because it's plausible, like
Yes.
extremely far fetched, but it would be plausible if the circumstances were right.
Yep.
Um, I've heard that people actually dress up as one in their respective towns and actually fights crime and such. I've also heard people get severely hurt and removed from this planet, basically,
Yes.
to say it in the best of ways, because they try to be. So yeah, no, it's not easy.
Nope.
Idolizing these type of characters as well. It's dangerous for the wrong types of minds, but it's such a great form of comfort for others.
Yeah. But it also kind of it's there are some people who take the vigilante dream too far, but then
Yes,
you
that's
have
what
the
I mean.
people who take the correct inspiration from it,
Hmm. Yeah, I
the
agree.
ones who see that it is being the vigilante type that is Batman and the Robin and those. It isn't the let's see, it's not the I'm doing it all the time. It is the
Hmm.
people who look out for the
Yes.
threat, who look out for the danger. And when something comes knocking, when the thing in the dark comes for someone innocent who can't help themselves, it's that moment you stand up. It is not that you're vigilant, or it's not that you're out hunting, it is rather you're vigilant, and when it happens, you can stop it.
Yeah, I agree. Fully agree.
Yeah.
I have a final question for you, actually, in terms of this.
Hmm?
The animated series that we've all had the pleasures of watching. Which one to you is the best voice? And now, since the best voice is now deceased, unfortunately, who is your pick to be the current voice?
Hmm. That's a really good question.
Hmm.
Wow. Favorite one is difficult to beat, but I
Oh yeah, yeah. Nobody can beat him.
the brave and the bold's Batman actually is what I'm
Oh
very
really?
fond of. Yes.
Yeah. You
Again,
like his voice?
he cheeses it up a bit, but it
Yeah.
works because when you watch Batman the Brave and the Bold, there's a lot of silly, but
Yeah.
then suddenly he gets very serious and
Mm.
you see why he was chosen to be a Batman. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
For the people who don't know who voiced Batman in the Brave and the Bold, his name is Diedrich Bader
Yep.
and is an exceptional uh, voice actor in many different things as well. But like we discussed, you've watched way more of that than I have because the goofiness of the style tricked me
Yeah,
from
it is.
viewing it.
It is that kind of risk that you need
Yeah.
to give it the chance, which some
Yeah.
people don't. And I don't fault people who don't watch Brave and the Bold.
Mm.
Brave and the Bold. I will not hold it against them because I understand why.
Mm. Yeah.
But the thing is, it
But
does
it's
just this. It just word. It does as good of a job as balancing the silly with the serious as the
mm.
animated series. It's just that it decides to be more akin to the old comics than
Okay.
the
Yeah, like the
newer
light-hearted
night.
side.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is
it feels very
lighthearted.
Adam West to me. You
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
it embraces that, but it knows when to take it. That's actually pretty good. It is
Mm.
Adam West until it stops being Adam West.
Yeah. I agree with this point because I never liked, and sorry for the blasphemy for all of the diehard fans here, never, never liked the Adam West version of Batman. Never. I've seen it. I've seen all of the pow and the schmack and all of the cool. Oh yeah, this is so old school and so great of a series. Never liked it. The plots of the series and everything, and many people say that the Joker in the Adam West series is one of the best ones. Never got that vibe from from that series, but that's me and that's my personal opinion, right? But
Yep,
for me,
and
I'm very
it's
surprised.
it's your opinion to have, and
Yeah,
don't anyone else stop you from having it. We
yeah,
all
I
have the
agree.
opinion. Like hell, I have friends. If I'm gonna pick a different kind of series, it is Star Wars. A lot of my
Yeah,
friends despise the prequels. I love them.
yeah, the prequels, the three prequels, yes.
Yep,
Whatever the last three is.
there is
Yeah,
no other three.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying as well. Yeah. No, but for me, I'm very surprised that Dietrich Bader is actually your favorite pick in terms of that. Um,
he again. It is more or less due to newer points of
mhm,
views of how the
mhm.
series have been made.
Yeah.
How too many people focus on Batman as they make him, what is it? It's a parody of Kevin
Oh, yeah,
McConaughey's right? It's sort
yeah.
of like how people try to whenever someone who isn't Peter Cullen tries to do Optimus Prime, they do this.
For
Oh,
example,
they do this voice, and it
yeah,
sounds more
yeah,
like a parody than actual Optimus Prime.
yeah,
It's so disrespectful.
yeah. I would say it kind of is. At the same time, they also know that that's the only voice they know him as, right?
Yes.
So if you then have too big of a difference, people will be like, "That's not him. That's
Yep.
not him at all." So they would rather accept like a poorly caricature version of it because it's still close enough, but you won't take it seriously. But if it had a completely different voice, you wouldn't take it seriously at all. That's kind of what made uh, the Batman animated series so interesting to me because Reno Romano, who's the voice actor there, sounds so different than Kevin Conroy uh, that you just don't like. You don't kind of believe it's Batman in the beginning, but if you give it the chance of like, yeah, but this is a young one, so his voice would naturally be different. It would be lighter. It would be, but it would still have the seriousness in it, and it's that way it grew on me. But for me, my favorite voice post Kevin Conroy is Jensen Ackles. hmm For
I can see why.
whoever is here now and knows Supernatural, it's uh, it's that guy basically. It's Dean in Supernatural. That's Jensen Ackles, and he's been playing Batman in how many movies now? One, two, three, six, I think. Because you have he came in 2021 He was in The Long Halloween that came out. Then you have the one that is called Legion of Superheroes, and then you have Justice League War World that came out in 2023. He's
Oh,
still the voice there. And also in the movie, which is the last one that Kevin Conroy also ever voiced, which is Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth. Because there you have all of the different versions of the alternate universe Batmans, and Jensen Ackles is the actual one, and you actually have the animated series one with Kevin Conroy voicing that one in I think it's in part three because there's three parts, and also extra point for whoever knows this, but uh, Jensen Ackles actually was Jason Todd or Red Hood in Batman Under the Red Hood in 2010. That's also Jensen Ackles.
barely
So
recognize the dude.
yeah, you you hear more of his normal voice there than his Dean voice, right?
Yep.
Because everyone connects him to being Dean and broody and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
he
which
does
would make him a great Batman.
he does the Christian Bale thing in Supernatural,
Yes,
doesn't he?
I agree. He does, which is kind of amazing as well because he he uh he did that for how many seasons? 17 or something? 15, 16,
Yeah.
17. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of edgy.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
The best part is when you what's that angel called again? There's this
Castiel.
one Castle, yeah. When when he tries to be a smartass, when he tries to replicate
Yeah.
Dean, it's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
ass butt."
Hmm.
Oh man, that killed me when I was younger.
Yeah, no, it's a great series as well. Now he's Soldier Boy or whatever.
Yeah, I
In
think I don't like The Boys, but his
no,
role in The Boys was
mm-hmm.
The Boys is better with its villains. It's unfortunately though the creator has no idea how to make
Yes, I
good
agree.
characters.
I agree.
They don't know how to make heroes. They got George
Mm.
Martin brain. No
Yeah,
idea what the hell they're doing.
yeah, I agree. But it showed us that he could get in shape to be a superhero, and I'm hoping that he would be chosen as the uh, new one in James Gunn's version of all of this DC universe.
Yeah,
People are also shouting for the guy who plays Reacher. What's his name?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
because he's huge. He's built the exact same way, and he's the same height as what Batman would be. You know, because I think
Mm,
many of us underestimate how huge of a human being Batman actually was
yeah.
in the books and everything. Because every movie we've seen, Michael Keaton is not a big guy at all.
No.
You know, Michael Keaton never was, and then shoving Val Kilmer into the next suit, he wasn't a big guy either. They trained to be athletic, but nobody got huge, you know.
I
And
have a better idea though. Keep the supernatural guy, right?
yeah,
But and make the Reacher into Bane.
for example, yes, because I
He
never
would make
understood
a
why
fan.
they.
Yeah,
Yes,
he would make a fantastic Bane.
I think so.
Of course,
But any
don't do the memes of Bane
no,
from Christian Bale's. It's
mm,
the dude who does Venom.
do the
Only he
actual.
can. Yeah, do give us the proper. They can do the serious part, but don't do it to the point where you
Hmm.
make a meme out of him.
No, I was so disappointed seeing Bane in that. That's the only disappointment I have from the trilogy.
I like
Bane
the
is not Bane at all.
character they try to portray, but again,
No.
they overcamped Bane a bit, sadly.
Hmm. He's not Bane at all. You don't see him utilize Venom at all. Like I mean the green juice Venom, not his other character which he plays in the
Honestly,
Marvel
in that
universe.
case, the
Hmm.
Batman and the Robin Bane
Hmm.
is a lot more accurate.
Yes,
The
exactly.
one with
That's
the
what I mean.
Bat credit card and
Yes,
Schwarzenegger Batman
exactly.
has a more accurate Bane.
Yes, which is crazy to me.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. So I kind of love that show a bit.
Same.
I love that movie. It's that is the first time I saw Mr. Freeze, and
Mm-hmm.
I love the getup. I love the stupid cheesy humor. It's just
Yes.
what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice
Mm-hmm.
Age.
Yeah,
This is with
it's
such fucking
such a
gusto.
terrible, terrible, terrible movie in terms of dialogue. It is
Yeah,
horrendous. But the storyline is funny. Like, what happens is believable
yeah,
because what do we get fed the most when we view Batman? It's when we play the games, it's when we watch an animated series and all of this. Sh- Shit happens in huge amounts in just a night, you know?
yep.
Yeah. Like you have the games as well. Everything there happens during one night.
Really?
Like what the actual heck? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Everything happens in one point of time. You never go back to, well, you do it in the third, no, second Arkham City. You go back to your Batcave and such in
Huh.
much bigger form shape, but everything still happens in the same evening. Even though you go back, you never take a rest. You never wait until the next day, and like that's in everything Batman basically. Every episode as well you watch in an animated series happens basically at the same day that it starts, it ends on the same day, which is crazy because that means shit happens every single day. When does he rest? Does he even rest? And it just doesn't make any sense in that regard because the plans that we see that the villains have conducted and conceived is just, well, this took him months. What did they do in the meantime? You know, what did Batman do in the meantime while they were planning this for 3 4 months? Oh, he
He
fought
does.
other villains basically. That's why they have so
He
many.
fights other villains, but he also lives that social life he lives. Again,
Well, does he though?
that's it
We
doesn't
never get to see
seem
it.
like exactly, but that is because they focus too
Mhm.
much on the bat and less on Bruce. Like, here's another
That's what I'm
thing.
saying.
I want to see more Bruce doing prep. I want
Hmm.
to see more prep work done as Bruce before he
Yes,
gets down and serious as Batman. You know?
yes. The only thing I've ever seen is the series Gotham, but that's because Bruce is so young at that point that you only get to see him as Bruce until the very last episode,
Yeah, and they never really get
and
to, and you never get to
you
see
never
who the
see him.
hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, you never get to
yeah,
see Joker either. Like, what the hell?
yeah. Jared or whatever his name
Uh,
is, but he's
but
an excellent Joker actually. You know
he
that
is, but it's kind
pissed
of
me off
sad
too.
because you never get to see
Yeah,
him as.
no,
Uh, the thing
as
about
that
Joker, yeah,
strung out. No.
it's. I never liked the whole the Joker is an old man while Batman is a kid
Mm-hmm.
because the
Yeah,
Joker is he
they're of
isn't as
similar age.
yeah, he isn't yeah, exactly he isn't as fit as Batman, but Joker is more fit than the average human
Mm-hmm.
because if the Joker can get the drop on Batman, he's
Yeah.
able to put up a proper fight.
Yes, exactly. But nobody
It's
nobody gives this level of attention to it, which is the frustrating part for
yep.
me.
Oh, same, same. Let's see.
Favorite movie? You said the two first ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Out of the movies, I would have to go with the Tim Burton ones.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
And then animated.
Oh yeah, in animated, that is of course a TAS, the animated series.
Yes.
But no, actually, no. Well, it's kind of difficult. I love the Justice League, but that is more because of how well it handles
Mm,
everything. But if pure Batman, it would have to be the first seasons of TAS. Though I
yeah.
will have to point out
Great.
this, even though they kind of demolished Joker in
Mm,
the latter seasons of the TAS, Joker gets such a redemption in the
yes.
Justice League, and especially the Batman Beyond movie,
Oh
Return of the
yes.
Joker.
Yes, it's amazing. And so believable how they did that too.
Yeah, I mean
That's
they
the crazy part.
they add a lot of the science.
Hmm.
There is a lot of science fiction there too, and that's
Yeah.
why you kind of believe that. Okay, that actually makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense at that point, and I love that part a lot. For me as well, it's in the animations. It is without a shadow without the animated series, closely followed by Beyond. But they're so neck and neck that I wouldn't be mad if someone said Beyond is better. I'm
Oh, I get
just
it.
I'm just unhappy they got so few seasons out of that. Could have been amazing, and the fact that we don't have a live action adaptation of it yet is also a crime to me.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we'll see one eventually, but right now there's actually a YouTube movie of Batman Beyond, which is really good,
A YouTube movie.
made by fans, and it is really good, like seriously good. If you think budget and everything, it's spectacular. I'll see if I find the link to it, and whenever this is uploaded to the people, maybe you can have the link to it attached. I don't really
You know
know,
what? Send me the
but
link and I'll force
I'll
Besic
see.
to put it in the.
Yeah, because guys, you have to see that. It's incredible. Like it's really well made, and the guy who plays McGinnis looks like McGinnis. I swear, he looks almost exactly as if you see him in the animations.
Okay, here's
Um,
another thing I need to know from you when it comes to.
yeah.
We've talked about the Batman himself, but his follower, the one that
Mhm.
comes after,
Yeah.
McGinnis.
Hmm.
Your favorite villain, the favorite opponent that McGinnis has had.
Mm.
Your personal favorite. It doesn't matter if it's Joker. It doesn't matter. I just want to know the one you prefer him fighting the most.
I actually him fighting would have to be the uh oh man, the it's not ink, but it's the guy who can make portals. What's his
Yes.
name? But yes, it's him,
Yeah,
because
I know.
he challenges him in a way that we've never seen anything in this type of universe be done before.
Yep.
Hmm. That's my favorite one of the villains there.
Yep.
Uh,
My favorite is. Ooh. It's it's a lot of different villains because you have the revenge plot in Blight as well as the
yes,
quite dangerous opponent in that you can't fight him properly because spend too much
he'll
time
melt
with
you.
Blight and you'll
Hmm.
know exactly what happened to the people doing the whole Demon Core project.
Yes,
The dude
agreed.
is living radiation.
Yes.
But the best villain in many ways would have to be uh, it's not the Joker actually. It's
No.
Terry McGinnis is the one who finally manages to destroy the Joker because here's the thing
Hmm.
about Terry. While many villains die at his hands, it is not because of Terry.
Yes.
Terry merely fights back, tries to defend himself. He tries, in many cases, to actually stop them from killing themselves, but in the end,
Yeah.
they keep making that mistake that villains do.
Hmm.
But the best villain is. What was his name again? Mm, not the sound guy. Or is it him?
Not too sure.
Ah, this one. It's actually not a villain, it's rather an organization that is. Now
Hmm.
I remember why I don't remember. Now I know why I don't remember their name. It is that gang of cyborgs that Terry McGinnis have to actually use his head to defeat because
Mm.
they have all these very powerful augmentations, which makes them extremely dangerous to fight and really competent opponents. Because they have taken a cybernetic doctor's wife or girlfriend hostage, and he
Yeah.
has implanted a failsafe, and that's all he gets to know. So he has to use the clues of the doctor because when he finds out a certain truth, the doctor runs away. And then he has to
Hmm.
fight the cyborgs again. But through the entire journey of the episode, where he finds out small clues and he finds out some truths here and there, he figures out
Yeah.
that the sentence April Moon, I think, is essentially a self-destruct code
Oh,
for
really?
all the augments. So he says it, and it causes everyone's augmentation to just fall apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that is he has to keep himself alive from an onslaught of four cyborgs who is more than capable of fighting them on his own, and he has to fight four at a time, right?
Yeah.
And these are just thugs made powerful by another dude. They're nobodies,
Hmm.
quite literally, just nobodies. But he
How
has
can
to
I
use
not
his
remember these
head.
guys?
Yeah, he uses his head, figures it out. It's through his own work, and that kind of what
Yeah.
makes him the most. It's his most Batman moment. It's not because of the
Yes.
tech. It is not because of Bruce Wayne sitting in a chair. He
That.
himself
Yeah.
figures it out, and that's kind
I
of
mean,
what.
I think I remember it, but I can't remember the episodes that involved them. But it's
No,
true
eh,
what you're saying.
yeah, I don't remember the name. I just remember so clearly the scene where he is. I think is held above by one of the cyborgs, and they about to kill him, and then he just
Hmm.
whispers the name, and the cyborg who hears it, he just falls apart. Quite literally too, because that dude had his arms and legs modified, and they just fall apart on him.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
because I remember like it must be this the one that's called Stalker. This it sounds like it. It's a hunter with uh that's a hunter with cybernetic enhancements. I believe it's the one that makes uh fake original Batman in as a robot,
Yeah.
and he gets to he finds the cave with Bruce in it
Yeah.
and starts attacking him and stuff. I think it's that
That
connection, but
reminds
I'm not
me.
too sure. I'm
Doesn't
not too sure.
doesn't that happen in the original animated series too, where Batman has to fight a robot that is made in his image?
Maybe
Yeah.
actually, but I distinctly remember it being in Beyond, but I don't remember if Bruce says that he's fought this type of thing before.
Might
But
be.
I remember it's in Beyond because I remember McGinnis actually getting back into the game and fighting him, and then they punch it and they see that it's a robot, and then Bruce has no issues blowing it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, because before that, when they think that this is a human being, they don't go to that length. But the second they punch him hard enough to see that, oh, there's a robotic face under this mask, Bruce just blows it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though those are the robots that really aren't sentient or looks to be sentient. There's
Yeah.
this robot who believes he's Bruce. He
Yes.
actually he believes he kills Batman. Like he believes he kills
Yes.
Bruce, and he stands there as like, I've taken a life, I've taken a life, and
That's true.
the
That's in the
believed
original series.
yeah, and he believes that he
Yes,
kills
sir.
that guy. He believes he has
Yeah.
killed a person,
Yes.
and he's so well made that the
Mm.
robot self destructs from the
As
sheer
a result.
shock of it.
Yeah.
And
That's a
of
good
course,
way to.
everything is hand drawn in the original series. And again, the
Yes.
animation quality is just mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah. Yes. For sure. So your picture here, sir.
Hmm?
It looks pretty much done. The
Yes,
white around it is the lightning, I'm guessing, or is it supposed to be the clouds?
it is around him. It's the clouds illuminated by the
Yeah,
lightning.
exactly.
Are they a bit too bright, maybe?
No, I thought the one right above his head there looked like the lightning, but then looking at how he's lighted, that wouldn't make any sense. So I thought, yeah, no, these are carvings of the clouds around them.
Yep.
But for the viewers, I thought it would be nice of me to bring it up so they would understand, so they don't sit there and think like, I don't understand why you put the lightning like down by his feet and stuff. But people are people.
Rule of cool, basically.
Yeah. No, but this picture is
Yeah.
amazing. And again, wrapping this up, you guys who've been here with us through this episode right now have literally seen just the artistry happening in front of your face while listening to us, and it's just, to me, it's just mind-boggling how you're able to make these drawings, because this is just a sketch, guys.
Yep.
It's not him sitting using a week to make a portrait or anything. It's literally a sketch, and it's so beyond whatever I would even dare to attempt it being. And you do it in such a short amount of time, even though we've been here almost a couple of hours soon, and it's still amazing to me how you're able to play with shadowing and the details that you trace everything out of first to then add the layers that ends up being this absolutely poster worthy drawing within just minutes, basically.
Thank you.
It's so cool being part of the podcast with you, and just seeing this happen. And every time you have a live as well, and I'm able to jump in, I don't really take a lot of time to write that I'm there, but I'm there.
Thank you.
Because I usually put it on and I do something else and I listen to what you're talking about, and just the dynamic you have between you and your regular guests, but also whoever is new that you have joining at times, and what you talk about, and it's just a lot of fun just being part of listening to it, while at the same time seeing what you start with and what you end up with, within like the short time span that you do every single one. And I don't people I don't think appreciate enough how difficult it is to do it this well in such a short time. And also for the people who haven't been viewing your shorts where you speed draw, right?
Mm,
To show people, it's amazing the amount
yeah.
of details that you, because attention span of people is so low now that when you see the speed drawings, you really see all of the attention to detail much more, because it happens so fast in front of you. So you see the difference and the changing of it happens so quickly that your brain actually is able to understand what's been going on. Because as we've been talking now, and this just ended up being the finished-ish product, the only other time we noticed is when you turned it into the black version after inputting most of your details, right?
Yeah.
So all of this has just been seamlessly transformed into what we're looking at now, and I think it's spectacular. It's so cool to see that you were able to do this so quickly.
See, that reminds me, I kind of want to do this. Oh, 22 layers.
22 layers, as you can see, guys. Like, it's not easy doing this stuff, and this is why commission-based work is what it is and what it costs.
Yep.
Because this is detailed work and it's skill, and yeah, no, I just find it to be absolutely awesome.
Thanks, man. Uh,
Thank you again for having me here.
it's my pleasure. It's always funny having you here. Always love it. Get some good conversations out of it. But since you were so nice to give me a good segue opportunity, I'm just gonna take this chance of saying that if you like what you see here and you would like to hire me to draw art for you, you can find me on Twitter under Trim's Art Check there, or you could find me on my Ko-fi, or if you have my Discord, you can also reach me there. It's yeah, I do black and whites like this. I can do proper art with the coloring as well. I don't really have many limitations except for if you want fur, you have to pay extra. That's all I'm saying.
Fair point. Fair
Yep.
point. The
I
extra
have
detail is going to cost you. That's what you're
huh?
saying. The extra detail is going to cost you. Let's
No,
call it that, I guess.
it's rather the blow to my dignity.
Oh, yeah. That that too, I guess.
Yes,
Everyone can be bought. Everyone can
everyone
be
can
bought.
be
So
bought, but that is a just truth of the world. Everything has a price, but I like to think that I'm not that cheap.
true, true. No, I'm pretty sure that people who hire you will be very very happy with the result. Like it's crazy seeing this and then an opacity version where you're down at like 40%. If you like speed drag it to that, you'll have like the lightning effect. It's fucking crazy.
Let's see
It's
here.
really cool the fact that you can do that stuff. So yeah, I wish I could be able to draw anywhere near as good as you do. But yeah, no, it's really cool and
Thanks.
based on segues as well. Any chances of a shameless plug for my sake as well?
Oh, sure. I mean, you gave me one, so here you go.
Yeah, no, for sure. Apart from being a vivid Batman enthusiast, I'm also a car enthusiast. I run my own YouTube channel as well called Chill with Cars. You'll be able to find it probably. Trim will be nice enough to put that in the descriptions and such as well. Please follow
Yep.
if you like that type of content. Uh, and just reach out. Just put a comment. Trim's video sent me here. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'll greet you with open arms and have you be part of our family as well, for
Yep.
sure.
If you like cars, then Tommy is your guy.
Yeah.
He is very very funny to deal with. A very nice guy, and he's a bit business savvy too. He can give you a lot of good advice, especially life advice.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same, like that. That's the Bruce Wayne version of me. I never talk about it, never show it, but it has to be done.
Yep.
You have to put that in place as well. So yeah, no, that's why he resonates so much. I kind of feel ish in a modest and very small way that one's living the same way, right? You have two versions of yourself. You have the adult, and you have the thing you do that you hope saves the world little by little,
Yep.
effort wise.
Huh.
So,
I mean,
and
it's
yeah,
uh, it's kind of the mask you wear. The one you're alone, the one you're with
mm,
people, and the one when you're with friends.
yes, true.
And with that, I would like to thank Tommy for joining me here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I
Oh, the
hope you have
pleasure's all
time in the
mine.
future. Thank you.
For sure, for sure. Anytime, anytime.
And of course, I have to remember to thank Bezic for having the time and patience to edit all of this, because everybody knows my ability with technology. It's a no. So I kind of need that poor Australian to do this for me. And hey,
Yes,
I'm
I'll extend my thanks as well to you, Vezek, for first of all listening to all of us blabbering. The amount of times the blabbering happens, like the amount of episodes that I've watched now, both where you're involved, but also the amount of time that you have to spend editing everything is quite remarkable because these aren't short-term videos in any way, shape, or form,
we
and you go
tried to
through them
keep it
all.
45 minutes, but we're on like 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Exactly, and it happens every single time as well. Any
Oh,
guest, I see it. So based on this, I'm really impressed with
yeah.
the level of patience that you have, Sek. So that's my nod of approval of your work and
Yeah,
patience from my
al-
side.
and also he deserves a lot of kudos and respect for how he just adds a little extra flair to it. I like the Besic has always been a little bit of a cheeky bastard, and he keeps that energy with him in the edits too. It gets when he
Nice,
sees
nice.
an opportunity to make a joke, he takes it. And
Yeah,
again, that is why I'm so happy that he does my editing for me.
makes full sense.
And also a thank you to Robert Renato, who keeps letting me use his music and just abuse it immensely. So I gotta thank him. Make sure to coddle him a bit so he doesn't pull it back, cause then I'm screwed. But seriously, if you really like moody music, go give Robert Renato a listen. He is a master with synthetic orchestras.
Cool.
And of course, for the last but not least, the thank you to everyone who's taken their time to watch this and listen to this episode. Thank you, one and all, for coming and joining. Thank you again, Tommy. I hope to see you here again in the future. And with that, bye bye, everyone.
See ya, and thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.